Welcome to Chain Bureau, smart crypto insights for smart investors. Look, if you still think crypto is just about memes and moonshots, you really need to pay attention. 2025 is the year it all changes. We're witnessing a great convergence, where digital assets are finally merging with traditional finance, and it's about to reshape, well, everything. You ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, let's just kick things off with a number that should honestly stop you in your tracks. $46 trillion. That's the annual transaction volume for stablecoins. Now, to put that in perspective, that's not just a little bigger than Visa's network, it's nearly 3 times what Visa handles globally in an entire year. This isn't some niche experiment anymore. This is a parallel financial system, and it is operating at a mind-blowing scale right now.
So you gotta ask, right? How in the world did we get here? How did this technology go from a curiosity to a multi-trillion-dollar global payment rails seemingly overnight? Well, it wasn't magic. It's actually a perfect storm of 3 massive forces all hitting at the exact same time: regulation, institutional buy-in, and a technological revolution. Let's break it down.
All right, for the longest time, let's be honest, crypto is all about speculation. But that story is over. The game has completely changed. Now it's all about real-world utility. We're talking about being able to send money across the planet in seconds for pennies and seeing things like stocks and bonds being reborn on the blockchain. This is it. This is crypto's mainstream moment. So what's the first big piece of this puzzle? Believe it or not, it's regulation. For years, crypto was the Wild West, and that uncertainty kept a lot of serious players on the sidelines. But in 2025, that chaos is finally being replaced by clarity. Governments everywhere are building a coordinated global rulebook, and it is an absolute game changer.
And look, this isn't just 1 or 2 countries dipping their toes in. We're talking about a coordinated global push. You've got Europe's huge MiCA framework now fully active. In the US, the big agencies are finally working together, and key financial hubs from Hong Kong to the UAE are rolling out clear rules. This is the definition of de-risking an asset class for the big players.
In this quote right here, this is huge. A top official at the US Treasury says they have a roadmap for digital assets. That one word, roadmap, changes everything. It signals a massive shift from just reacting defensively to proactively building. They're not just putting up guardrails anymore, they're designing the financial highways of the future.
It really all boils down to this one simple idea. Clear rules create confidence. And where there's confidence, well, that's where the big money follows. Let's see what that looks like.
And just like we said, that confidence is having a very predictable effect. The institutions, they're not just knocking on the door anymore. They're here. And I'm not talking about a little trickle of venture capital. We are talking about the world's biggest financial giants opening the floodgates.
And the numbers don't lie. Look at this. In a whopping 80% of jurisdictions around the world, the big banks, the asset managers, they're all launching major digital asset projects. The places with the clearest rules are becoming magnets for global capital. The herd is officially here. And this isn't just theory. This is happening right now. Take UBS, a massive name in global banking. They've already issued the world's first regulated, publicly traded digital bond. I mean, think about that. It's a regular old bond, but it lives, breathes, and settles entirely on a blockchain. This is the blueprint for the future of markets. And it's not a one-off. You've got BlackRock, literally the biggest asset manager on the planet, jumping in with both feet. They're taking one of the safest, most traditional assets in the world, US Treasury bills, and turning them into digital tokens you can trade 24/7. And this brings us to the really cool part, the technology that makes it all tick. Okay, so as we're about to dive into the tech powering this massive shift, it's a good time to mention, if you're trying to navigate this new landscape and find an edge, we've got something for you. To get 24/7 access to over 5 powerful trading indicators that can predict markets with up to 93% wins, and they work on any device, just check out the link in the bio.
All right, so we've covered the why, the rules are clear, and the big money is interested. Now let's get into the how. The engine driving this entire transformation is a technology called tokenization, and it's about to fundamentally rewire how we own and trade, well, pretty much everything.
So what the heck is tokenization anyway? You know, the simplest way to think about it is this. It's the process of creating a secure digital title deed for any real-world asset. A house, a piece of art, a share of stock, you name it. And that digital deed lives on a blockchain, where it's transparent, secure, and can be traded in an instant. Let's break it down. It's actually a pretty simple 3-step process. Step 1. You pick an asset, say a corporate bond. Step 2, you turn its ownership rights into a digital token on a blockchain. And Step 3, boom! That token can now be zipped around the world and traded instantly 24/7 without all the old-school paperwork and slow, costly middlemen.
And if you're wondering how big this is going to get, just wrap your head around these numbers. The market for tokenized assets is projected to rocket past $2 trillion by the end of this year alone. By 2030, we're looking at over $13 trillion. This isn't just a trend, folks. This is a complete replatforming of global finance.
And don't for a second think this is just for Wall Street. This is touching everything. Imagine owning a tiny slice of a Picasso, or trading shares in an office building as easily as you trade a stock. For creators, it means getting paid your royalties the second someone uses your work. For gamers, it means you actually own your digital stuff. The rule is simple. If it has value, it can be tokenized.
Okay, let's zoom out for a minute. We've got this perfect storm, right? Clear rules, institutional capital, and this game-changing technology all converging at once. So what's the big takeaway here? What does this mean for the future of value? And maybe, more importantly, what does it mean for you?
This right here is the before and after snapshot. In the old world, you buy a stock and have to wait 2 days for it to actually settle. It's crazy. In the new world, it's instant. We're moving from these clunky, separate systems that can't talk to each other to a single global network. Instead of needing millions to invest in certain things, you can buy a tiny fraction, opening up access for everyone. And all that expensive, manual back-office work? Gone. It's all automated by smart contracts. This isn't a small tweak. It is a fundamental system upgrade for the entire global economy.
Now, with all this change happening so fast, being able to spot opportunities is obviously more important than ever. So if you're looking to capitalize on these huge shifts, having the right tools is a must. Just a final reminder, to get 24/7 access to over 5 powerful trading indicators that predict any market with up to 93% wins, and they work on any device, the link is waiting for you in our bio.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. For the first time in history, we can treat any asset, a building, a song, a stock, just like a piece of software. It can be programmed, updated, and sent anywhere in the world instantly. So the real question we all have to think about is, when anything with value becomes as fluid as information, what does it even mean to own something anymore?